Okay, coaches, here is this session. It is 1v1 to 2v2 Funinho and big goal to counter goals. So the idea here is that there will be two teams training across from each other, and at the halfway point of the session, they will switch. So it's sort of like stations, only there's only two stations. So the coach that is running the big goal to counter goals will stay here. The coach is running the 2v2 and 1v1 Funinho will stay here. The coaches will stay. The players will flip. We will tell you when to flip them. So for both of these, you're going to start off with the game playing 1v1, and about 10 or 12 minutes in, you're going to progress to 2v2. So you're basically going to teach them the game 1v1 so that they all understand it, understand what's happening, what the rules are, how the game works, and then flip it to 2v2 to increase the challenge, increase the opportunities for movement and choices and mistakes. So what we're looking for here, first off, is this is going to be something this week that we're going to do early in the season, but forever. It needs to be fast repetitions. We can't have players just stood in line forever and ever and ever and ever. So the repetitions have to be fast. So the way that you do that is once you have, look for this one here, this will be the coach. You will have all of the soccer balls. So when you put in a ball, instead of dumping a ball into the middle where the players are forced to come out and have a big collision, we want to start from a place of control. So whichever one of these players is the most alert and looks like they want the ball, you will give them the ball directly. That will also be something that everybody else notices. The kids that are up here that are looking at the coach and are asking for the ball and are on their toes and are alive, that's who's getting the ball, so they will follow it, right? They'll chase, again, that positivity carrot. So give them the ball directly, okay? And then they just play. So in the Funinho, two places where you have to defend, but then two goals where you could score. So I would set these goals up here probably, 8-ish yards apart. So this takes, I've done this with 10 cones total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the goals we will have for you. So give them the ball and they play. So build in the rules as you go. Before you play in that first ball, don't explain every last little detail. You guys are scoring there, you guys are scoring over there. Who wants the ball? I do. Give them the ball. Game on, play. So the rules you'll have to establish in is, when is the ball dead, right? Is the ball dead when the ball goes way out of bounds? Is the ball dead when it goes an inch out of bounds? Is the ball dead when it goes behind the goals? You will have to teach that. And then what happens when that ball is dead? Right? You're going to run out of soccer balls if one of them doesn't bring it back. So you'll have to establish, when the ball is dead, who brings the ball back. The way that I do that is, if you have lost the ball out of bounds, you bring the ball back. But if you score a goal, the person you've scored on brings the ball back. So then no matter what, when that repetition is done, when John and Sally are done playing, one of them is responsible for bringing you that ball back. So you won't ever run out of balls. You won't have to stop and send everybody scattering to go shag them, because they can't get back in line and play again until that ball is back with you. So they will even hold each other accountable. This kid will score and will say, hey, make sure you take the ball back, right? This player will dribble and lose the ball out of bounds, and they'll go, you have to take the ball back, right? They'll police each other there. So the balls always come back. And then what is the cue to start? So when this ball does go out of bounds, you can't stand here and wait for them to get this ball all the way back to you and back in line before you put the next ball in. So this is where we just use that cue, get out. So get out of here means two things. One, it means that you're serving a ball in, and it means for these two players to get out onto the field to play. And also, when that ball goes out of bounds, when you say get out, it's a cue for these two that their play is dead. They need to get the ball and come back. So the second this ball is out of bounds, you're shouting get out, and you're playing the ball into the next person. So reps, 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 reps. So even though there are lines here, these players will not ever be standing in line any longer than about 2 minutes, if that, because it's going to happen bang, 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 bang. If they're going to get anything out of this, they need tons and tons of repetitions. Now, what will make this fun, even beyond just the soccer and the playing, what you have to do as the coach is you have to create an environment. So you have to establish stakes. Why is this more fun? Because we're the burritos and we're playing against the burnt nachos. So burritos against burnt nachos, right? We have team names. Now we're going to keep score 0-0. First team to 6 goals wins, whatever it is. Okay. So now we're playing. So now while these guys are standing in line, they are watching their teammates. They are cheering on their teammates. They are hoping that everybody scored. They're all keeping scores. And what I do is after every single goal, I'll do one of these, and the players have to tell me the score. That way I don't have to count. Counting is hard. I don't want to do that. I make sure they are telling me the score. Their goal does not count unless they celebrate it and they tell me how many goals they have. We've scored 1-0. We've tied it 1-1. They've got to tell me the scores, right? So we are establishing stakes. We're keeping score, making it competitive. Makes the whole thing louder, makes the whole thing fun. Generally, a field that is loud is a field that's having a ton of fun. Once they have got the handle on 1v1, piece of cake. I taught you that game just so that I could teach you this game. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we put our players out in the corners. I do them out in the corners instead of right beside the goals because I want the game to be open. It's hard for them to open the game up. Everything tends to be in a jumbled up mess. If I have them come onto the field in a jumble, it's even that much more difficult for them to get spread. So put them out wide in the corners. Same thing. Who wants it? Whichever team wants the ball, whichever player is looking at you and is the most alert and attentive, that's who I am giving the ball to. So now they come on 2v2. So now we know how the game works. We've established teams. We're keeping scores. We have in the rules. When is the play dead? Who brings the ball back? What's our cue to start the next round? Right? Now we can start finding little soccer moments. And what we're going to focus on here is the choices. What decisions are the players making? In the 1v1, there are decisions to make. How do you know which goal you're going to go and attack? How did you make that decision? All right? If we have a defender right here and an attacker right here with the ball, they have two choices. They can either go through this defender and try to get to this goal that are nearby, or maybe they can try to escape to the goal that isn't defended. These are choices. These are right? These are choices. These are decisions. These are things that are dictating whether or not your players are actually thinking while they play, and they all will be, but they might not know it. You might have to show them and teach them and remind them. Right? This is how you build creative, sneaky, devious little soccer players that are up to stuff, right? We're not being truthful here. We're being sneaky. Maybe I'll fake this way to move that defender away from that goal and come back, praise good choices, right? They're not even sure that they're making choices yet, but you know they are. So you're going to show them what choices they're making. You're going to talk to them about what choices are there. And every time you see a good choice, you're going to blow it up like they've solved cancer, right? Like they've done the greatest thing in the world. So this is, again, how you make the session fast, how you build in the rules so everybody knows what's happening, all right? It's going to be competitive because you've given them team names, you're keeping score, right? And then you're teaching them, they're learning, okay? They're going to learn what decisions they make. So for, all right, big goal to counter goals, same exact idea. This is going to be you, the coach, on the side. You're going to have all of the soccer balls with you. You will have a goalkeeper in place. Make sure the same goalkeeper does not stay in there the entire time. In fact, you can have one goalkeeper for this team, and when they flip, this team can have their very own goalkeeper as well. So same thing. It doesn't matter which side starts with the ball. Whichever player is the most alert, that's how you're going to give them the ball. Once you've played that ball in, this player can come out to defend, and it is just now a 1v1 duel, and you are going to keep score, right? They're all immediately going to think it's going to be easier to score in the big goal. Obviously, it's not, because now there's only one place you can go to score, and it's guarded by a defender, so really it's 2v1. And if this defender wins it, they've got two easy places to run to go and score a goal. So I would usually do this in like 5-minute halves, right? We're going to do this in 5-minute halves. So you guys have 5 minutes to score on the 2 counter goals. You guys have 5 minutes to score on the big goal. Whatever the score is at the end of 5 minutes, that's halftime, right? We're going to flip it. Now we're going to play the other way. We're going to see if the team with the lead can hang on to that lead or grow it. We're going to see if the team that's behind can make an epic emotional comeback. When you switch to 2v2, piece of cake again, all right? Move these players wide. It's hard for players to be spread out if they are entering the field all jumbled up. So again, don't put these players on the post, put them out sort of towards where like the edge of a goal box would be, or almost all the way to the corners. All right, spread them out. That will also save, if this player gets by and rips a shot and this player stood here by the goal not paying attention, it might save them from getting smashed in the nose because they're not right next to that goal. So same exact thing, right? We're playing, we're keeping scores, we got team names, it's competitive, and then you, for your coaching parts, you're focusing on the decisions. How did this player arrive at the decision to, instead of shooting this ball straight into the kneecaps of the defender in front of them, right? How did they arrive at that decision to play that little pass? That's a great choice. What an amazing decision, right? Why'd you make that decision? What did you see that helped you make that choice? Oh, I saw there was a defender right in front of me and they were wide open. Amazing. How come, right? You were over here in space instead of standing right over there next to your teammate. Well, I wanted to be in open space where they could pass to me and I could score, right? They will know the answers. They will give the answers, especially if they've done that good work to get there in the same place, right? They might not have thought about it in those terms while they were doing it, but they've recognized something that has led them over there. They've recognized something that has led them to play that pass. So you will have these groups for roughly 20 minutes, and then they will flip. So the coach will be doing the same activity twice in a row. The players will do both Funinho and big goals to counter goals. And this is our session. Enjoy.